The old ballpark back in gear today as it's opening day here at College of the Canyons. COC and Saddleback in the Cougars home opener of the 2023 3C2A baseball season. Hi everybody, I'm Matt Robinson. Happy to have you along with us as always here on the Cougar Sports Network. Well, yesterday these two teams went at it and down in Saddleback, and Saddleback able to come away with a 6-2 victory over College of the Canyons. The Cougars looking to try and snap a 3-game losing streak against Saddleback dating back to last year. Cougars lost both matches against the Bobcats last season, 17-5 here at COC and 20-2 at Saddleback. But yesterday a little bit tighter of a game, 6-2 the victory for Saddleback. It was close pretty much the whole way through. A late RBI double for Saddleback helped push them over the top. Arthur Liu went 6 innings, gave up 4 hits, 2 runs, just 1 earned, struck out 9 in those 6 innings. He, of course, last year had 7 saves, one of the better pitchers for Saddleback, as they picked up a couple of hits from Jason Heft, an RBI double that broke the game open a little bit. For the Cougars, Gavin Rosales got the start yesterday, gave up 7 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned. Struck out a pair. Cougars just had a little bit of trouble. Brooks Schneider picked up the loss in the contest, and the offense was a little sluggish yesterday. Just 5 hits in the ballgame for COC, trying to fix that here today as they take on Saddleback in the second game of the season and the home opener for College of the Canyons as we are just about ready to get underway here. The home plate umpires have met with both coaches, and we will get you the starting lineups for each side. For Saddleback, the lineup will look like this today. Jacob Nasso will lead things off. Then Michael Davini will bat in the 2 spot. Cole Kolinarski, who was a conference player of the year last year and one of the better players in the state of California, looked to actually made the PAD Southern California All-Regional first team, will bat in the 3 spot. Then Ben Castelli, Isaiah Morales in the 5 spot, Jason Heft in the 6 spot, JC Allen batting 7th, Makani Tanaka, getting the start in the 8 spot, and then Cade McGuire batting 9th for Saddleback, as Kenny Chung will do the pitching for the Bobcats today, as they will face Tyler Biggs, getting his first start as a COC Cougar. Gonna take the bump for College of the Canyons. As the Cougars, kind of a new look roster, a few returners from last year. So we'll talk about them as the game continues on, but kind of a lot of new faces and a lot of new places. But with the new year comes a new opportunity for COC, who finished tied for second in the Western States Conference South last year. They were 22-22 overall last season, 12-9 in conference play. As defensively for COC, Anthony Ruvalcaba will play at first base, Charlie Roca at second base. Then Colin Yeaman, the shortstop. Andy Ambrose, one of the returners for COC at third. Then the Camacho brothers in left and right. Ryan in left, in left and center. Jovan in center, Ryan in left. And then Alex Sepulveda in right field with the battery of Tyler Biggs and Andrew Allenson behind the dish, as we are just about ready to get underway. As Jacob Nasso will lead things off. Nasso 1 for 4 yesterday with a run and a strikeout. Will start the game for Saddleback. Last year an All-Orange Coast Conference second team player. Hit .331 for the Bobcats last year with a .455 on-base percentage and a .368 slugging percentage in 38 games. At 133 at-bats, 44 hits in those 133. As we are underway here in the opening game of the 2023 season here at Cougar Field. Second game of the season for both these teams. As that pitch over for a strike as Biggs gets one across, and we're even at 1-1. As you said, Nasso, 44 hits, 5 doubles. Those were his only extra base hits as he'll lay a bunt up the third base line. That one's going to be a tough play for Ambrose. He's not going to have a throw. And a leadoff bunt single for Jacob Nasso, the leadoff runner aboard here for Saddleback. Has executed very well. Seeing Ambrose was deep, and that was pretty much unplayable for Ambrose as it just kind of died right on the third base line, just on the grass. It was an absolutely perfect bunt from Nasso, so the leadoff runner aboard. And Michael Davini will step in. Davini last year, all Orange Coast Conference second team, had a single season batting average of 420, which is 13th all time on the Bobcats record books. Had 47 hits on 112 at bats. It's 2 for 4 yesterday. Hit a .607 slugging percentage. Extra base hits last year, had 4 home runs. Saddleback last year had 50 stolen bases in 59 attempts. And I would imagine they put a little bit of pressure on the COC defense. That was one thing the Cougars did not do well last year, was defend the stolen base. You look, they allowed 87 stolen bases in 101 attempts against. Only 14 runners were caught stealing. It was such a struggle last year. This one hit on the ground. Going to be a tough play for Yeeman. He'll get to second for 1. On to first, not in time to get Davini. So fielder's choice in the first out of the inning. So Yeeman with a tough play to his right, able to backhand it and fire it on to Roca at second base for the first out of the inning. So one away, and Kolanarski coming into the plate. Konarski last year, we already kind of alluded to, Southern Regional All First Team, Orange Empire First Team. Had 63 runs batted in last year. It's 25th all time on the career RBI list now with those 63. Was 8th on the single season list as Davini checked on by Biggs. Konarski last year, 368 hitter. Had 7 home runs, 8 doubles, 60 hits, and 163 at bats as he takes a called strike on the inner half of the plate. Behind the count, 0-2. Slugging percentage of .546 last year. Did hit into 7 double plays last year, which was 5th most in the state. As he chops this one foul up the third base line. This ball hit in the air down the right field line, twisting foul. Plenty of foul territory here at Cougar Field, so you can chase everything down. If you're on the defensive side, you just got to give chase, and sometimes it just a little bit too far out of reach. This ball hit on the ground towards third. Ambrose will pick it up on 2 hops. Fires to second for 1. Across to first, Roca in time to Ruvalcaba. And Konarski grounds into a 5-4-3 inning-ending double play. So a solid start for Biggs here. He gets out of a little bit of trouble after giving up a leadoff bunt single. And we head to the home half of the first. No runs, 1 hit. Nobody left on. 0-0 COC and Saddleback.
College of the Canyons wants you to get ready, reset, and go when it comes to your athletic future. With 17 intercollegiate sports programs to cheer for, opportunities for student athletes to learn, train, and compete, and a championship mindset that has produced state and national titles, College of the Canyons and the Cougar Athletics programs offer a great college experience. Get ready, reset, and go at College of the Canyons. Visit canyons.edu/schedule and cocathletics.com now.
Home half of the first upcoming. Cougars will send the following lineup to the plate today. Jovan Camacho will lead things off in center field. Then Alex Sepulveda in the 2 spot. Andrew Allenson in the 3 spot. Andy Amber is batting 4th. Aaron Ruvalcaba in the 5 spot. Colin Yeeman in the 6th spot. Then Jake Shorts batting 7th. Charlie Roca batting 8th. And Ryan Camacho cleaning things up in the 9 spot for COC as they'll face Kenny Chung, getting the start today for Saddleback. Chung, a sophomore out of El Segundo, California, did not pitch at all last year, getting his first start as a Saddleback Bobcat. Defensively, the Bobcats will send Allen to first, Heft at second, Morales at short, Davini at third, Konarski in left, Nasso in center, Tanaka in right, the battery of Chung and McGuire. As we get ready for the home half of the first inning, Jovan Camacho leading things off. Was 0 for 4 yesterday with 3 strikeouts. Trying to turn things around here today. WSC Gold Glover last year. Appeared in 39 games for the Cougars. Hit .319 with a .450 on base and a .291 slugging percentage. Hitting from the left side of the plate. Fouls this one away. Jovan and Ryan, the brothers in their 2nd season here with the Cougars on the baseball spot. They actually played for the football team for a pair of years as well. So they've been around the campus for going on 5 years now. Of course, COVID kind of changed things up a little bit and made some changes to the way eligibility worked for a lot of these young guys, and they get a chance to kind of extend out a little bit as Camacho hits this one in the air towards left center field. That's going to be trouble. Nasso not going to get to it. That's going to get back to the wall. Camacho rounding first on his way to second. He'll stop there. And a leadoff double for Jovan Camacho and the Cougars in business here in the first with a runner on. So a leadoff double for Camacho. That brings Alex Sepulveda to the plate. Sepulveda 1 for 4 yesterday with a run scored. Sepulveda, sophomore out of Encino, went to Crespi High School, getting the chance to start here. Back-to-back games to open the season. Didn't play it all last year for COC. He's got a chance to try and get the Cougars on the board as that ball gets away from McGuire and Camacho down to third. So now run 90 feet away for COC with nobody out and a good start on the offensive side for the Cougars here at home. Is that one just a straight pass ball on McGuire? Like Chung with an off-speed pitch that McGuire just did not handle, got through his glove. So this ball hit back up the middle for a base hit. And Sepulveda has an RBI single, and the Cougars are on the board here in the first inning. So about as good of a start as you could ask for COC. As you get an RBI hit from Alex Sepulveda. And the Cougars didn't take long, pushed run across here against Chung. And it'll bring up Andrew Allenson to the plate. Allenson 1 for 4 yesterday. Sophomore out of Quartz Hill High School. Relatively local young man from Lancaster, just up the 14 freeway a bit as he takes that pitch down and away. After Chung and McGuire had talked for a quick second here, as they look like they're trying to get on the same page a little bit. It's 1 ball, 1 strike count to Allenson. Allenson, the switch hitting catcher, batting from the left side here today. As he swings and fouls this one off towards the COC dugout. Sepulveda leading away from first in a 1-2 count with nobody out. The Cougars on the board with a 1-0 lead. So again, like we said, just about as good of a start as you could ask for COC. Get a leadoff double from Jovan Camacho, an RBI single from Sepulveda, and they go to work with the 3-hitter. And Allenson, the catcher, takes the pitch away, and the count 2 balls and 2 strikes. Cougars didn't run a lot last year. That was not in the game plan for COC. They did well when they did run, 44 stolen bases and 51 attempts. It just wasn't part of the game plan for Chris Cota, and I would imagine it's kind of similar here early on in the season, although of course I say that, and Sepulveda in motion, and he's going to have second base swiped as the ball kind of skipped away from McGuire. So the Cougars in business once again with a runner in scoring position and nobody out. A stolen base for Sepulveda. Three balls and 2 strikes, the count here to Allenson. As he waits and takes the pitch away, he'll work a walk to the Cougars with runners on first and second, nobody out. 3 up, 3 to the 3 onto the bases for COC. First walk issued of the day by Chung, and again, McGuire going to come out and talk to Kenny Chung, try and settle him down. So Chung, a big body, 6'3", 220, can throw hard. Brings a bit behind him. He's just having some trouble finding his rhythm right now. So he'll face Andy Ambriz. Ambriz returning from last year, 44 games, hit .328. Had a 12-game hitting streak at one point last year. 21 hits during that 12-game hitting streak from March 31st to May 3rd. So pretty much the entire month of April had a hit every game. He takes that first pitch away. Talked about Ambriz, a .328 hitter, a .506 slugging percentage. Had 11 doubles, a triple, and 6 home runs last season. Drove in 44 runs, which was 43rd most in California. Chance to try and pick up at least 1 here with nobody out in the home half of the first inning. As that pitch down and away, Chung kind of struggling here a little bit. Ambriz kind of leans back, doesn't have those gloves fastened up. It's interesting to see. Kind of loose in the hands as he fouls that one straight back, gives it a big rip on a 2-0 pitch. Andy sporting the goatee this year too. Was clean shaven all year last year. It's runners on first and second, nobody out here in the first. Already 1-0 COC as Ambrose rips this one out into right field through the hole for a base hit. They're going to hold the runner at third base and load the bases up here for Aaron Ruvalcaba. But a single for Ambrose and the Cougars with the bases loaded here in the first and nobody out. Hard hit ball for Ambrose that time, right through the 3-4 hole, out into right field. And Chris Cota playing it a little bit safe with Sepulveda. The ball was maybe hit so hard that Tanaka coming up charging would have had a chance to try and make a play at the plate. So says we'll wait and we'll let Aaron Ruvalcaba go to work here. Ruvalcaba 0 for 3 yesterday. Hit .295 in 44 games for the Cougars last year. He chops this one back to the mound. Chung will come to the plate, but it gets away from McGuire, and the Cougars going to get a run across on an errant throw from Chung, and actually I think really an errant play from McGuire. So they officially scored an error on McGuire. So it's a run batted in for Ruvalcaba. It's an unearned run, but the Cougars push another one across, and they have a 2-0 lead. The bases remain loaded here as Colin Yeeman comes to the plate. I gave Ruvalcaba credit for hitting last year. He actually did, so getting his first start of the year. My notes are a little backwards. Something got copied over that didn't. So we go Yeeman, and he fouls this one down the right field line out of play. Yeeman 1 for 3 yesterday with a run scored. He's behind in the count, 0-2 here. So Chung got what he wanted, a ground ball right back to him, and then just kind of a throw that wasn't quite on target, and McGuire couldn't handle it, kind of skipped out of his glove. As Yeeman will hit this one on the ground toward short. Going to be a tough play for Morales. Tries to go to third and does not get it. And the Cougars push another run across on an RBI ground ball from Yeeman as the bases stay loaded here for the Cougars. So it's a fielder's choice for Yeeman, an RBI driven across, and Jake Schwartz will come to the plate. Now we're going to get a visit out to the mound for Saddleback here. They want to try and settle down Kenny Chung. So the conference over, Schwartz back to the plate. Schwartz, the DH today, was 0 for 4 with a strikeout yesterday, hitting from the left side here facing Chung with the bases loaded. Still in the first and nobody out. The Cougars have pushed already 3 across at the moment. That ball misses down and in. This one fouled away by Schwartz. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count. The Cougars with a 3-0 lead here in the home half of the first. Started with a leadoff double from Jovan Camacho, an RBI hit from Alex Sepulveda. Then Allenson walked. Ambrose with a sharp single to load the bases up. Then an error on McGuire on a throw to the plate after the ball put in play by Ruvalcaba on a little chopper back to the box. And then Yeaman reaches on what scored a fielder's choice on a ground ball into the 5-6 hole that Morales tried to go to third and get Ambrose and could not. So it'll stay a 1-2 count here to Schwartz. Saddleback with some work going on in the bullpen. This ball hit in the air towards shallow right center field. That'll get down for a base hit. And so Schwartz with an RBI single on a little blooper that falls in. The center fielder Nasso was shaded towards left center and couldn't quite get over to it. But another hit for the Cougars, an RBI single, and Ambrose comes across. So 4-0 lead here in the first for COC. And Charlie Roca comes to the plate. As we said, work going on in the Saddleback bullpen. Can't tell who it is. The dugouts kind of get in the way of the bullpens on both sides. So Roca 1 for 4 yesterday. Charlie, the freshman out of Verdugo Hills High School, takes that pitch down for a called strike. So it looks like Will Girardi up at the bullpen for Saddleback, the lefty out of Deer Creek Mackinac High School in Michigan. That one fouled off the hands, kind of a protect me swing from Roca that time. The Cougars with a 4-0 lead. Still nobody out here in the first with the bases loaded. Cougars have sent 8 to the plate so far. Roca waits on the pitch, hits this one in the air towards right field. Tanaka initially going back, is not going to catch up to it. A run will score. The throw to second, going to get over the shortstop Morales' head. And the Cougars just going to leave everybody put. So it's a base hit for Roca. He drives in a run. Cougars get a little bit of a break that time as Schwartz, who had to kind of go back towards first on a ball out to right field, didn't want to get thrown out. Almost got thrown out at second base. But it doesn't hurt the Cougars. It's an RBI hit for Roca, and Ryan Camacho will come to the plate as the Cougars have batted around here in the first. So a little RBI bloop single. An error on Tanaka brings Schwartz to second, and it brings another visit out to the mound, and I think that might be the end of the day for Kenny Chung. Summer McCartney out to talk to him and hasn't taken the ball from him yet. And he finally will take the ball from him, so we'll step aside for a moment. Pitching change when we come back. The Cougars with a 5-0 lead here in the first inning.
At Jersey Mike's, we think no sub should be measured in inches long or seconds till served. A sub should be measured in moments, time with friends, lunch breaks unbroken. Every sub is a chance to be great. Every sub should ask the question, am I a sub or am I a sub above? Jersey Mike's, be a sub above.
So Will Girardi going to come in to take over here for Chung. Girardi getting his first opportunity of the season. Did not appear last year for Saddleback. In his sophomore season as well. So he'll face Ryan Camacho. So Chung, not the book not quite closed on him. The bases are loaded right now, and all three of those runners are his responsibility, but gives up 5 hits, walked 1. He's going to get credit for an appearance, but did not get an out. So the lefty Girardi will go to work here. Ryan Camacho will come to the plate when he's done working. Camacho, an all WSC South second teamer last year, hit .295 in 44 games. Hit 57 hits and 193 at bats. The 5th most at bats in the state last year. And he kind of came on late in the season. In the early part of the year, didn't get a lot of opportunities, but really started to find his rhythm late and was a steady part of the lineup. Both him and Jovan kind of found themselves in the lineup every day towards the end of the year. Part of the reason why the Cougars were able to push towards the playoffs is he'll go to work here. 1 for 2 yesterday. As he faces the lefty Girardi, the first pitch misses up and away. So 5 runs across here in the first with nobody out. The base is still loaded full of Cougars. Yeaman at third, Schwartz at second, Roca over at first. Infield trying to pick up some outs and double play depth here as that one nearly hits Camacho on the inside, able to just lift the rib cage out of the way enough. So 2 balls and no strikes. A hitter's count here for Camacho, taking the whole way. Called strike on the outer half. That one over for a strike as well, and a little breaking ball. Camacho hit into 3 double plays last year, but he's pretty good on the bases in terms of speed. Now, granted, him and his brother both defensive backs, so kind of part of their game when they played for the Cougar football team. So expect him to be able to run as he waits on the 2-2 pitch and fouls this one off to the right. Up towards the owner's box. Let's see if Len Mahoney goes and picks it one up and fires it back in. So once again, we'll do the 2-2 pitch. Base is still loaded here. Girardi set at the chest. Will come to the plate. Camacho chops this one on the ground. That one's going to get into the hole and get out into left field for a base hit. Cougars just going to go station to station here as they put another run across on an RBI hit from Camacho. And they add one more here in the first inning. Still nobody out. So a little chopper of a ground ball that Morales probably wouldn't have had a play on anyway. It bounced over the top of Davini and wide of Morales and got out into left field where Konarski picked it up. And the Cougars come back around to the top of the order as Jovan Camacho goes back to the plate. 6 across, still nobody out here in the first. As Camacho, who led the game off, led the inning off all of maybe 20 minutes ago with a double, comes back to the plate. This one grounded foul up the third base line. So nothing in 2 here. Saddleback still looking to try and pick up their first out of the first inning. As it's a double, a single, a walk, a hit. An error, a fielder's choice, then 3 straight singles for COC. Schwartz and Roca still Chung's responsibility. Saddleback having a little trouble here on the bump. Last year, Saddleback was a really good team pitching-wise. They were solid, had a few guys that could really fire the baseball and get them through ball games. You look, an ERA of 4.06, which was 8th best in California. I know you're thinking 4.06 is ridiculously high, but not in college baseball with the aluminum bats. It's a really low number, all things considered. Opponents only hit 268 against them last year. 305 strikeouts, which was the 40th most in the state last year. As Camacho hits this one on the ground towards Morales at short. In the hole, not going to be able to pick it up. I don't think he was going to have a play anyway. So it's an infield hit for Camacho, and the Cougars continue to just move station to station. 7-0 lead, an RBI hit. So Camacho 2 for 2 in as many at bats. An RBI single towards the shortstop that brings Schwartz home. And we go back to Alex Sepulveda, who had a sharp single to center field to score Camacho in the first part of this first inning. Girardi's done a good job here. 2 soft ground balls that just have found spots where the defense not able to make a play as he brings the first pitch to Sepulveda, who fouls it up the right field line. Look, too, last year for Saddleback, they allowed 225 runs, which was 13th best in the state. So like we said, they pitched very, very well last year as a group, but running into some trouble here today against COC. Part of, I think, Saddleback's success last year was really the pitching staff was very good. You talk about Connor Wolford was very good last year, 96.2 innings pitched, had 16 appearances, was 11-2 with a 3.07 ERA. Then you had Ryan Farmer, Dylan Singh, Joshua Meekins and Arthur Liu, Meekins and Liu and Singh all back this year, but really when you talked about Wilford kind of being the guy to lead things off, Farmer was 76 innings of his own, 3.54 ERA, was 9-2. It's interesting, Singh pitched yesterday in the win, went 1 inning, walked a batter. Meekins pitched yesterday, went 2 innings, gave up a hit. Liu pitched 6 innings, gave up 4 hits and 2 runs, but struck out 9. So used your experience yesterday, and you're going with guys that are less experienced here today, and so far the Cougars have taken advantage with a 7-0 lead. So it's 2 balls and 2 strikes here to Sepulveda, as he stands and waits for the pitch from Girardi, the lefty. This one fouled away. We'll stay at 2-2. Two on the way again, fouled away by Sepulveda. Good at bat here from Sepulveda, battling in a 2-2 count. Saddleback still looking for their first out. The Cougars have sent 10 to the plate, and all 10 have reached. 7 of the 10 have scored so far. It's the 2-2 to Sepulveda, hit down the line and right. This one twisting will get foul before Tanaka could get over to it. Last year, Saddleback had, last game, Saddleback 3 errors and kind of the already one here today. So again, we'll do the 2-2 pitch to Sepulveda on the way, down on strikes. First out of the inning. Sepulveda down on strikes. Good pitch that time from Girardi, a breaking ball towards the back foot on the inside. So one down, and Allenson, who walked and scored all of 20 minutes ago, comes to the plate for the second time here in the first inning and swings at the first pitch, hits this on the ground right up the middle. Heft will step on second base himself, fires in the dirt over to first, but dug out by Allen, and that'll end the inning. But it's a big inning for COC. 7 runs on 7 hits. An error in the inning on Saddleback, and the Cougars with a 7-0 lead. We'll take a timeout. Second inning when we come back here on the Cougar Sports Network.
Our sports medicine program here at College of the Canyons is meant to introduce students who are interested in some type of career in sports medicine. Most of my students are interested in careers as an athletic trainer, physical therapist, or orthopedic surgeon. So when they're done with our program, they will have their Associates of Science. Do you love sports? And do you take satisfaction from seeing someone go from injury all the way back to the sport that they love? Then this is a program you should definitely consider.
So 7 runs on 7 hits with an error and 2 left on base for the Cougars in the first, and they go back to work in the second inning. Tyler Biggs with a long rest, but now a big cushion to work with here in the second, as he'll face Castelli, Morales, and Heft. So now the question becomes, can Biggs get himself back ready to go after what was a long break in that first inning? As we said, the Cougars started it off. Camacho with a double, then Sepulveda a single, Allenson a walk, Ambrose a hit. Ruvalcaba reached on an error, Yeaman reached on a fielder's choice, then Schwartz with a single, Roca with a single, Camacho and Camacho both with singles, and then the strikeout and the ground out into the double play. His first pitch swinging is Castelli. This one on the ground to first, covering is Biggs on the flip from Ruvalcaba. 1 up, 1 down on 1 pitch here in the second inning. So here's Isaiah Morales, 1 for 3 with an RBI and a strikeout yesterday. Takes the first pitch up from Biggs. Morales, sophomore infielder out of Venice High School, Los Angeles, California, 6'1", 190. The switch hitting shortstop, takes a strike in the count even at 1-1. Didn't play it all last year for Saddleback. Another one of a number of sophomores that didn't get an opportunity last year, but again yesterday, got an RBI hit back in the first inning. So he hits this one in the air down the third baseline and foul, and it will actually get out of play. And there is a ton of room down the left field side that it's tough for you at home to see. You can kind of see the left field foul pole, and you can see some of the third base dugout, but the bullpen over there extends maybe another 15, 20 feet as it's a triple mound bullpen on the COC side and the third base side. So it gives, like I said, another 10, 15, maybe 20 feet of room for the Cougars pitching staff to go to work when games are not being played, and it really opens up for the left fielder and the third baseman trying to track down fly balls. So it's a 2-2 count here to Morales. This one fouled off into the screen back to our left, and we'll stay at 2 balls and 2 strikes. This ball hit in the air towards left field and staying up in the air long enough for Ryan Camacho to pick it up, and 2 down here in the second inning. Bring Jason Heft to the plate, 2 for 4 yesterday with a couple of RBIs. couple of runs scored. Heft had a 2 RBI double in the 6th inning that kind of busted the game open. Or not really busted the game open, but gave Saddleback a 4-2 lead. And from there, they added another couple of runs in the 6th and the 7th, and able to go to that 6-2 win. Heft last season a 287 hitter. 23 hits and 80 at-bats for Saddleback last season. This ball hit sharply towards short, and it's going to get by Yeeman. One hopper and a hard hit ball, so Heft on, first base runner of the day for Saddleback. So it scored a hit for Heft. First hit of the ball game for Saddleback, and it'll bring in J.C. Allen, who takes a called strike. So Heft a sharp hit ball that gets by Yeeman. Tough play. It was a short one hopper. Yeeman kind of had to stay put, and he couldn't quite get onto it. As Biggs will try and work out of it. Ahead in the count here to Allen, 0-2. Allen, freshman out of Irvine High School in Irvine, California. Pops this one in the air towards right center field, rather deep, but an easy play for Jovan Camacho, able to run underneath it. Biggs gives up a hit, but works around it. At the end of 1.5, it's a 7-0 COC lead.
Meet Nigel Terry. In 2018, UCLA Health made him Laker for a day. Not because he beat cancer once, he beat cancer twice. He inspired us to push, to make the impossible possible. Because that's what Nigels do. And the world needs more Nigels. UCLA Health.
Ambrose, Ruwakamba, and Yeeman due up for COC to face Girardi. Can officially close the book on Kenny Chung, by the way. Gave up 5 hits, 7 runs, 6 of them earned, walked 1, didn't strike anybody out in an appearance, did not get an out. Faced 8 batters and didn't set down anybody. So the Cougars with a 7-0 lead as we go to the home half of the 2nd inning. And again, can't ask for much better of a start if you're Chris Cota and company today. So the Cougars able to pop together a 7-run lead.
It's windscreen. Can't we just get a forklift and windscreen and put it in the cross? That's not, windscreen doesn't cost anything. Shoot, we used to do it at Cameron High School ourselves. Like, that was part of our summertime work. Was coach would send us out there to windscreen the outfield. I hated it. It was the worst.
So Andy Ambrose to lead things off takes the first pitch down and away. Ambrose singled, scored back in the 1st inning, which was all of, at this point, a 30-minute 1st inning for COC, 30-minute plus 1st inning for COC. So maybe about 20 minutes ago he was at the plate. It seems like it was a long time ago, but it really was not. He waits on the 1-1 pitch from Girardi. That one misses out and away. talked about Ambriz. And he actually works a 4-pitch walk, so scoreboard was a little off, but it doesn't matter. The Cougars with a base runner to start here in the second inning as Ambriz walks. First walk issued by Girardi. Bring Ruvalcaba to the plate, chopped back to the mound. Was able to reach on an error with the bases loaded. Drove in a run back in the first inning. Left-handed hitting first baseman. Takes a pinch over for a strike. Is behind in the count, 0-2. And the Cougars sent 12 to the plate in the first inning, picked up 7 runs on 7 hits and an error. So Ruvalcaba gives this one a charge down the right field line, but it's hooking foul. Actually towards a contingent out there. Interesting. Looking at a group sitting on the wall out there watching some baseball here on a Saturday. It's the first we've seen that here at Cougar Field in a long time. Beautiful, beautiful spot to sit though out there in the sun. It was 56 degrees at first pitch today. She might have been closer to 60, but. Wind had picked up a little bit before the game, kind of blowing out towards left field, but has kind of settled down a little bit, flag whipping a little bit, but not much. So this one fouled straight back into the screen and will stay 1 ball and 2 strikes. But just about as nice of a day as you could ask for here in January 28th. Still wintertime in California, although you wouldn't know it. We've had a bit of a winter this year, actually. Some rain. This one hit on the ground towards second. Haft will pick it up. Backhands to second for 1, on to first. And a 4-6-3 double play. 2 away here. As Girardi gets a good pitch that time, Ruvalcaba set down. I'll bring Colin Yeeman to the plate, who reached on a fielder's choice and scored. Drove in a run as well. So 2 quick outs here in the second inning, and Yeeman, who was 1 for 3 yesterday, reached on that fielder's choice, drove in a run. Takes the first pitch down and in. So Girardi, after struggling with Camacho, the first batter, the Camacho brothers, the first 2 batters he faced, gets a strikeout and a double play and a walk and a double play. Trying to get the Bobcats back into hit here as that pitch misses down. 2 balls and no strikes to count here to Yeeman. Girardi misses up that time, so Yeeman way ahead in the count. 3 balls and no strikes. We'll see if he's got the green light. Local product out of Saugus High School. As he'll work a 4-pitch walk. So second walk issued in the inning by Girardi. So the Cougars go right back to work with a runner on first here and 2 away for Jake Schwartz, who singled home a run. Came around to score in the first inning. Schwartz, another local guy, went to West Ranch High School. Just around the corner from us here. West Ranch, the baseball program has been very good over the last maybe 10 years. Always competing for the Foothill League Championship. For a long time, it was really just a Hart and Valencia dominated league, but West Ranch and Saugus have come on as of late. That pitch over for a strike. No balls and 1 strike to count. Schwartz listed as a utility player. When you look at it, bats left, throws left, so really a utility outfielder can probably play first base as well. That's about the end of the positioning of where he can work to. Unless you somehow throw a left-handed catcher out there, which I haven't seen since left-handed shortstop. Yeah, that's Little League style stuff, though. That doesn't really happen anymore once you get to this level. Schwartz hits this one in the air towards left center field and deep. That's going to get down for a base hit off the top of the wall. They're going to try and score Yeeman from first base. The relay throw is going to be up the third base line. Yeeman comes in to score. An RBI double for Jake Schwartz, and the Cougars add another here in the second. So Schwartz maybe just 2 feet away from the first Cougar home run of the season. It's an RBI double off the top of the left center field wall. Schwartz with 2 hits and 2 runs batted in, and that ball was hit hard. Absolute charge out into that one. And Yeeman hustling the whole way, able to come in ahead of the throw. Bring Charlie Roca to the plate. Roca, who singled home a run back in the first, fouls the first pitch back. So the offense, which struggled yesterday, produced just 4 hits for the Cougars yesterday in the 6-2 loss, has found their stroke here today. As Roca takes that pitch away. One pitch upcoming. Roca puts a charge into this one to left field and deep. That one is well out. A 2-run bomb for Roca. And the Cougars with an even 10 in the ball game here just in the second inning. So a 2-out rally for COC. Started with the walk to Yeeman, a double from Schwartz on a ball that nearly left. And then Roca a double, or a home run, excuse me, a 2-run home run out to left as well. The offense just clinking as Ryan Camacho back to the plate, singled and drove in a run in the first as we continue on here in the second. So a couple of hard hit balls, one from Schwartz that went to the deepest part of the ballpark in left center field, hit off the top of the wall. And then Roca, who absolutely ripped one over the left field fence just a few moments ago over the top of the trees. Might even got out onto the softball field, to be quite honest. That's how hard he hit it. So Roca, his first college home run, comes here in the second inning. As Camacho chops this one in front of the plate. Going to be a tough play here for McGuire, but he's going to pick it up and fire it to first, and that'll end the inning. But the Cougars get 3. Powered in part by a 2-run home run from Charlie Roca. We head to the third inning. COC with a 10-0 lead.
This is my Bob Harvey. This is the standard. This is the gold standard play-by-play scores. No, Vin used a sheet of paper. Actually, I don't think Vin kept score by the time he was at the beginning of his career. Somebody else did. He just told a story. No, this is the gold standard. Bob Harvey. Play-by-play guys don't know it. If I threw a picture of this on Instagram, all my play-by-play guys would be like, "Hey, the Bob Harvey."
So we work in the third inning here. Connie Tanaka leading things off, then Cade McGuire, and then Jacob Nasso for Saddleback. Tanaka down on strikes. First strike out of the ball game for Biggs. So one away here in the third. Bring up Cade McGuire, who was 0 for 3 yesterday. This has been solid so far. It's worked around some hits in each of the first 2 innings. Really has not been in a lot of trouble as he works ahead and is ahead in the count. 2 balls and, or no balls and 2 strikes. It's back-to-back strikeouts on a really good pitch, down and away, 2 down. He sets McGuire down on strikes. So 2 up, 2 down on strikes. I believe on 6 pitches. So they'll bring Nasso to the plate. Nasso. Nasso singled and then was cut down on a fielder's choice in the first. Takes a pitch inside. Nasso way ahead here, so Biggs, after 6 straight strikes, comes with back-to-back balls to the leadoff hitter in Nasso. Misses inside, nearly caught him. So way behind here, 3 balls, no strikes. 2 down here in the third inning. Biggs, who's been good here so far today. Instead of giving up a couple of hits, got a double play ball back in the first. A couple of strikeouts here in the third. So he pumps that one over for a strike on the outer half. Gets himself back a little bit in the count at 3-1. Nasso going to take again all the way, and a good pitch over on the inner half of the plate. We're full count with 2 away here in the third inning. Cougars was 7 in the first and 3 in the second. The offense has been rolling, and that's allowed Tyler Biggs to just really work free here. The second and third inning as this ball put a charge into the right field and deep, but drifting back is Sepulveda. He'll have a plan. It makes the catch just in front of the wall. 3 up, 3 down. We go to the home half of the third, 10-0 COC.
The future is yours, so let College of the Canyons help you get ready, reset, and go for it. Get ready for transfer, the workforce, or take your skills to the next level. Reset your career and get back to work quickly. Go to college for $46 per unit, 0 textbook cost class options, and apply for your share of financial aid. With convenient class times, flexible on-campus or online options, and free tutoring, the future is yours at College of the Canyons. Visit canyons.edu/schedule.
I'm old, so I'm way behind. Jesse and I hear stuff like that. I work with high schoolers, so I don't have people can. Even my wife knows she works with high schoolers, and they start stuff. And she's like, what do you see? I'm surprised you haven't picked that one. Amy and I, we were doing something the other day, her and I were talking, and she's like, this sounds like a conversation you and Jesse would have. And I go, probably is a conversation Jesse and I would have had. Just in there saying random things, just rolling lines from TV shows and movies. I can't remember what it was. I can't remember what Amy and I were talking about. She just like, it sounds like you and Jesse have. Like, of course. Sitting in the office, shooting the shit, not with anything to do. Goofing around.
That's another one that they use.
Home half of the third we go. Cougars with a 10-0 lead. The pitching change here for Saddleback as we go into the third. Zach Allegro will come in to take over. So Girardi goes 2 innings. He'll face Jovan Camacho, Alex Sepulveda, and Andrew Allenson here in the third inning. So Girardi, after coming in to take over for Chung, goes 2 full innings. This ball hit on the ground towards second. Going to be an easy play for half. He'll fire to first in the first out of the inning. First time in 3 innings the Cougars have not had the leadoff runner aboard. It's Camacho down 4-3 for the first out. It's Alex Sepulveda singled and struck out, drove in a run back in the first. So we're saying for Girardi, went 2, gave up 3 runs. All 3 of them earned for the Cougars. Walked 2, struck out 1. Gave up 4 hits in those 2 innings of work. As Allegro freshman out of Fallbrook, getting his first opportunity of the 2023 season. Facing Sepulveda here in a 1-1 count. Sepulveda, as we said, singled, drove in a run, scored, stole a base, and an eventful first inning, also struck out in that first inning. Getting already his 3rd at bat of the ball game in the 3rd as he pops this one up in play on the infield. Should be Allen, and J.C. Allen will come over and make the catch. So 2 up, 2 down. Bring Andrew Allenson to the plate. Allenson walked, scored back in the first, also grounded into an inning-ending double play in the first. First time today the Cougars have not had the leadoff runner aboard. As we're only in the 3rd inning as Allenson, first pitch swinging, lines a base hit out in the left field. So 2-out single for the Cougars as Allenson gets himself aboard, and Andy Ambrose will come to the plate. Ambrose singled, walked, scored back in the first. And his first hit in his first at bat today. It was 0 for 4 yesterday, but did drive in a run. A couple of strikeouts yesterday as well, though. But the sophomore third baseman in that cleanup spot this year, going to be relied upon heavily as Allenson back into first on a dive. Really, you expect Ambrose to kind of lead the way between him, the Camacho brothers. Most experience on the roster for COC in terms of hitters at the plate. Talked about Ambrose being a guy last year as well that was part of the Western States Conference first team, was guy that had a 12-game hitting streak. He had a season-high 4-hit game against Citrus on April 21st. That was a season-high in a single game in 4 hits, but just was steady as she comes. Had 14 multi-hit games. Had hits in 36 of 44 games during the year. Drove in an RBI in 25 games. One of those 44 runs batted in last year. Takes a strike. The count 3-1. The problem Ambrose had last year is the strikeout numbers were high. 41 strikeouts, which was 26th most in the state. He only walked 23 times. Trying to clean that up a bit here in his sophomore season as he waits and swings and lines this one out into left center field. That'll get down for a base hit. Nasso knocks it down. Allenson gonna go to third though as Nasso fumbled it, and Ambrose slides into second base. So it's a single and an error. Ambrose into second. And the Cougars in business with 2 away, runners on second and third. So Ambrose, his second hit of the ball game. Ruvalcaba will come to the plate, who's reached on an error and grounded into a double play. Good swing that time from Ambrose, so we've seen him go both ways, a single to right and a single to left. Or a single to left center, actually, we should say. So Ruvalcaba swings over the first pitch, a breaking ball that time from Allegro. No balls and 1 strike to count. Good awareness that time by Allenson and Ambrose to both move up a base on a ball that got away from Nasso. Might actually be scored a double, but either way, it's a base hit. It's Ruvalcaba in a 1-1 count, trying to bring another run home for COC. 7 in the first, 3 in the second. That one over for a strike.
Just call it. Huh? Because it's a tough play for them guys.
So for Ambrose officially scored a leg double. It was a tough play for Nasso getting over to his left. The ball kind of took a funky hop, came up off his chest, and Ambrose able to work his way into second base. So 2 balls and 2 strikes the count here to Ruvalcaba. He takes that pitch away. So full count here to Ruvalcaba with 2 down, runners on second and third. He'll work a walk, and the Cougars have the bases loaded here in the 3rd inning. First walk issued by Allegro. 4th walk in the ballgame for COC. And Yeeman, who walked and grounded into a fielder's choice but has come around to score 2 times today, comes to the plate. Cougars got things started in the first with 7 runs. It started with a Jovan Camacho double to left center field. The Cougars just rolled on from there as that one squirts away from McGuire, but not deep enough for Allenson to try and score from third. So we said Camacho singled to start the game off. Then Sepulveda with a double, Allenson with a walk, Ambrose with a sharp single to right. Ruvalcaba reached on an error, charged to McGuire on a tough throw from Chung. Then Yeeman on a fielder's choice, Schwartz, Roca, Camacho, and Camacho all with singles that led to 7 runs for COC. In the second inning, it came back around with 2 outs. Yeeman walked with 2 outs. Then Schwartz doubled off the top of the left center field wall. Then Charlie Roca followed up with a 2-run bomb out to left. The Cougars trying to add to it again here, make this a long day for Saddleback in terms of the pitching staff, as they've already been through 3 pitchers here. As Chung made it just an appearance, didn't get through an inning, didn't get an out after he faced 8 batters. As that one called for a strike against Yeeman, makes the count 1-2. Girardi went 2 innings, gave up 4 hits, 3 earned runs. Allegro trying to work the first clean inning of the day for Saddleback in terms of runs allowed, but faces bases loaded with 2 outs here and a 1-2 count to Yeeman. This one lifted in the air into shallow right center field. Playable for Nassau. Comes across and makes the catch. The Cougars leave 3 on. They fail to score here in the 3rd, but they created some problems for Allegro. We go to the top half of the 4th. Still 10-0 COC.
Our sports medicine program here at College of the Canyons is meant to introduce students who are interested in some type of career in sports medicine. Most of my students are interested in careers as an athletic trainer, physical therapist, or orthopedic surgeon. So when they're done with our program, they will have their Associates of Science. Do you love sports? And do you take satisfaction from seeing someone go from injury all the way back to the sport that they love? Then this is a program you should definitely consider.
Back to work we go in the 4th inning. It'll be Davini, Konarski, and Castelli to hit here for Saddleback. This one lined towards short and stabbed by Yeeman. Flying through the air to rob Davini of a base hit. Heck of a play that time by Yeeman. As Davini gave it a ride on the first pitch from Biggs, or the second pitch from Biggs, and got robbed of a hit, and that'll bring us to Colt Konarski, who grounded into an inning double play back in the 1st. Konarski, who we talked about back in that 1st inning, such a dangerous hitter at the plate. Was so good last year. We talked about 1st team all region in Southern California, 1st team Orange Empire, 63 runs batted in, was just so good at getting runs across. But all of that coming off just real base hits. I mean, he had 7 home runs as he's down on strikes. Good pitch from Biggs. So 2 away quickly here in the 4th inning. Biggs with his 3rd strikeout of the ball game. So we don't get a chance to finish our thought on Konarski, as it'll bring up Ben Castelli. Castelli grounded to first. His first at bat in the 2nd inning. Two balls and 2 strikes the count here to Castelli. as he takes a called strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts for Biggs. 4th strikeout of the ball game. And the Cougars rolling here into the home half of the 4th with a 10-0 lead.
At Jersey Mike's, we think no sub should be measured in inches long or seconds till served. A sub should be measured in moments. Time with friends. Lunch breaks unbroken. Every sub is a chance to be great. Every sub should ask the question, am I a sub or am I a sub above? Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
So another pitching change. Allegro goes 1 inning, didn't give up any runs, gave up a couple of hits and walked 1. As he'll give way here in the 4th for C.J. Swallen, the freshman out of Dana Hills High School. As he'll face Schwartz, Roca, and Camacho. As Schwartz gets hit by the first pitch, and the Cougars with a runner aboard. So it took just 1 pitch for Zwallen to give up a base runner as he hits Schwartz. And it'll bring us to Charlie Roca, who had that 2-run home run back in the 2nd inning. As he swings at the first pitch, hits it in the air towards right center field. Nasso drifting over will make the catch. So 2 pitches, an out and a runner on first. Now we'll get to Ryan Camacho here with 1 down. Camacho 1 for 2 today. Singled home run back in the 1st. Grounded softly in front of the plate in the 3rd. Takes a called strike. So we work in the home half of the 4th inning. In a 10-0 ball game. All the runs coming in the first 2 innings for COC. They sent 12 to the plate in the 1st. Already the 3rd time through the lineup for the Cougars as Camacho with his 3rd at bat in the ball game as he's behind in the count. 0-2. With Schwartz over at first. This one fouled off towards the right and out of play. Shadows starting to creep in on the field as the sun's starting to fall behind us here. It'll get dark in a hurry. And right about 2:25 in the afternoon. Sun goes down right now in the winter in California right about 5 o'clock. And really here at Cougar Field, the infield will get into shadows really, really quickly. As there's a hill behind us, some trees on top of that hill, and sun will fall back behind it real quickly. This one fouled away. It stays 0-2, so Camacho in a battle. His brother Jovan on deck. So wait on the 0-2 pitch. Delivered, fouled into the glove of the catcher McGuire. So a strikeout for Zwollen. First strikeout for Zwollen. 2 down here in the fourth as Jovan Camacho will come to the plate. Jovan 2 for 3. Doubled to lead the game off, then singled home a run back in the back half of the first inning. Grounded to second to lead off the third, and hits here with 2 away. In the fourth with a runner at first base after Schwartz was hit by a pitch to open the inning on the first pitch of the inning. This one fouled off to the left. So 1 ball and 2 strikes the count here to Jovan. First 2 hits of the season today. Went 0 for 4 yesterday with 3 strikeouts. Had a tough day yesterday. It's the one thing the brothers kind of struggled with a little bit last year. Too many strikeouts for the both of them. As Jovan takes that pitch away. That was, again, a small problem for COC last year. 321 strikeouts. So this one hit on the ground out into right field for a base hit as it gets through the 4-5 hole. So Camacho has his 3rd hit of the ball game. And the Cougars with runners on first and the second with 2 away here in the 4th for Alex Sepulveda. So Jovan, after an 0 for 4 start yesterday, has pumped the average up. It's 3 for 7 now on the year. That's how quickly things will change here early on in the season. So his first pitch chopped right back to the pitcher. An easy play for Zwollen. He'll pick it up and throw Sepulveda out. So the Cougars leave 2 runners on here in the 4th. We head to the 5th and a 10-0 ball game. COC out in front.
Meet Nigel Terry. In 2018, UCLA Health made him Laker for a day. Not because he beat cancer once, he beat cancer twice. He inspired us to push, to make the impossible possible. Because that's what Nigels do. And the world needs more Nigels. UCLA Health.
My supplier, who I asked him. I said, "Do you do tall sizes?" And they go, "No, no talls."
I've seen your logo.
You got it, don't you?
Yeah, I know. But do you have a vector photo?
No, because I didn't make it. First pitch swinging here. Nice. All right, fifth for Morales. He pops out on the infield. So 1 down here in the 5th inning. No, that's that guy's a There's Jason Hack. Single back to second. This has worked very well so far today for the fifth inning. This first pitch hits Biggs on the shoulder. So Saddleback with a runner up. Steph takes it right off the shoulder, and J.C. Allen will come to the plate for lap to center field in his own back. So Biggs, who's kind of cruised through 4 to third before he hits half, he's fallen a little bit out of stride. Throws 2 straight balls to J.C. Allen. That's actually going to bring a visit out from Ryan Paramo. Pitching coach for COC. Paramo going to come out top his 5th year. We've seen it so many times over the last couple of years with.
So Paramo out to visit. We've seen it so many times over the last couple of years. Has his arms out on the shoulders of the catcher and the pitcher. After Biggs got Morales to pop out, then hit Heft, and he's behind in the count to J.C. Allen. One away here in the 5th inning. Saddleback trying to find a big inning of their own as Biggs comes right back with a strike after the visit from Paramo. Paramo, the main pitching coach this year for COC, but they do have an addition to the roster this season. On the pitching staff side, Miguel Gonzalez actually coming in and will be an assistant coach. Former big leaguer, pitched for the White Sox, pitched for a number of different teams. Texas at one point in time, had a pretty good big league career. Actually a local guy as well, pitched for LA Mission College and at San Fernando High School, so a little bit of help on the staff for Coach Paramo this year in the form of a big leaguer in Gonzalez. As this one hit on the ground towards short, past the diving Yeaman, out for a base hit for J.C. Allen. Saddleback starting to go to work here. Runners on first and second with 2 away. Most trouble Biggs has been in today after he hit Heft. Bring up Tanaka, who was one of 2 strikeouts in the 3rd. One of the 4 strikeout victims so far today for Biggs, as now he finds himself in the most trouble he's been in all day today. Gave up a leadoff single back in the 1st, gave up a 2-out single in the 2nd. Set the side down in order in the 3rd and the 4th, but faces runners on 1st and 2nd with 1 out here in the 5th. As the first pitch to Tanaka down, and this is kind of where COC at times had trouble last year. You got yourself a nice big lead. You don't want to let the other team get any momentum, and Saddleback certainly a team that can put up a big number just like you did back in the 1st. As the Cougars with some work down in the bullpen going on. As Biggs falls behind 2-0 here to Tanaka. Looks like maybe Chris Romero down in the bullpen getting loose, trying to get a number, can't quite tell. Tanaka hits this one on the ground softly towards first. The only play is going to be first. Biggs over to cover, couldn't hang on to it as the pitch was just a little bit behind him from Ruvalcaba. And all of a sudden, Saddleback now with the bases loaded and 1 away here in the 5th inning. So scored a hit on what was a bang-bang play as Tanaka runs well. So now the base is loaded here for Cade McGuire. And Biggs now in a real big spot. Now, granted, it is a 10-0 lead, but he's been good through 4 1/3. Got Morales in the first pitch of the inning, but hit a batter, gave up a hit on a sharply hit ball out to left field, and then an infield single for Tanaka, and falls behind here to Cade McGuire. Biggs today has been really good working ahead. It's actually Luke Lemon out the bullpen getting loose. Finally caught a glimpse of a number. Had a 50-50 chance on either Lemon or Romero. Both right-handed pitchers, both have numbers in the 30s. Biggs finds a strike here. So McGuire 0 for 3 yesterday with a strikeout, 0 for 1 today with a strikeout. Biggs delivers. This one hit on the ground towards short. Yeeman to second for 1. On to first. Dug out by Ruvalcaba. A 6-4-3 inning-ending double play as the defense fires up here in the 5th for COC. Biggs works out of a bases-loaded jam. We head to the home half. Still 10-0 Cougars.
Meet Nigel Terry. In 2018, UCLA Health made him Laker for a day. Not because he beat cancer once, he beat cancer twice. He inspired us to push, to make the impossible possible. Because that's what Nigels do. And the world needs more Nigels. UCLA Health.
So the second double play of the ballgame for COC gets Tyler Biggs out of some trouble. And we go to the home half of the 5th inning in a 10-0 ball game. And Zawalin will work his second inning as the Cougars will send Allenson, Ambrose, and Ruvalcaba to the plate. Cougars 7 in the first, 3 in the second, and that's been it so far. Saddleback, no runs so far through 5 innings, although they threatened for the first time last inning, and like we said, Biggs working out of some trouble. Cougars had Luke Lemon up in the bullpen. They also had Malachi Corral up in the bullpen, from what I was told, so maybe the end of the day for Biggs. We'll wait and see. This one fouled away. As Allenson hits this one in the air towards left field, and that's going to get over the head of Konarski, and a base hit for Allenson as he actually pulls up, limping around first, and he's going to dive back into first base. Not sure if it's a hamstring. I'm not sure if it's an ankle. And that's going to send Eric Buitrago out to check on him. So he was trying to round towards second for a double, and that's tough for COC as Allenson's been doing the catching today. I believe Jack Collins has taken over behind the dish for McGuire, and I think he actually took over in the last at bat, and we didn't notice it. So Allenson kind of gets up and tries to work out of it. Maybe something kind of seized up on him for a split second. It's unfortunate as he was ready to go to second base, had enough of a run on it to Get it over Konarski's head. Looked like he had a leadoff double. Instead, it's maybe just a single, and that's it. See if he stays in the ball game, trying to stretch it out a little bit. He looks like he's still rather uncomfortable. Pretty impressive. He got back to the bag. And I think they're going to say that's the end of the day for him. So they're going to run. And it's going to be Dylan Dasek coming in to run for Allenson, who's had a solid game so far today. A couple of singles, a walk. Did ground into an inning-ending double play back in the first inning to end the big first inning for COC. And I think that might be the end of his day. So it looks like we might have a change behind the dish for COC. And so Allenson singles. Dasek will run. And Andy Ambrose will come to the plate. So single off the wall for Allenson. Ambrose, who's 2 for 2 today with a single and a double, has scored a run. The Cougars with nobody out and a runner on first base start here in the 5th inning as Ambrose takes the first pitch on a breaking ball that he almost ducked into. But he takes it up and in, and he's ahead in the count, 1 ball, no strikes. Way ahead here for Ambrose. Ambrose, another guy yesterday, was 0 for 4, but a couple of hits today. Looking for his 3rd already of the ballgame. Fouls this one off to the right on a 2-0 pitch. Wallen delivers. Ambrose takes a strike at the knees. Count even at 2-2. Nobody out here in the first. Cougars with the leadoff runner aboard once again. So far, the Cougars have had the leadoff runner aboard in 4 of the 5 innings so far in the ball game. As Dasek going to be forced to dive back. Dasek, a sophomore out of Golden Valley High School. Didn't play last year. 5'7", 150. He's going to be in motion here as Ambrose hits this one on the ground. It's going to skip off the glove of Morales, and Ambrose down to first, reaching on the air. So E6 and the Cougars with 2 on and nobody out here in the 5th inning. So Morales just kind of hopped up. Maybe was thinking about trying to get the lead runner at second, even though Dasek was in motion. And instead just kicks it, and that'll bring Aaron Ruvalcaba to the plate, who's 0 for 2 today. Walked in his last at-bat. Grounded into a double play back in the 2nd. Reached on an error, but drove in a run and came around to score a run in the 1st. As he swings and pops the first pitch up, off to the left towards the COC bullpen. Playable for Davini, and he'll make the catch back of 3rd for the first out here of the 5th inning. So 1 down in Yeeman, who made a spectacular play out at shortstop an inning, couple innings ago to rob Davini of a base hit. Comes to the plate without a hit today, 0 for 2. Reached on a fielder's choice and scored, but did drive home a run. Heeman takes a strike from Zwollen. 2 on, 1 out here in the 5th. As that one catches Yeeman in the elbow. And so he gets hit by a pitch, and the base is now loaded full of Cougars here in the 5th. And it was not a swing for Yeeman. Was able to check the swing, hit by a pitch. Second hit batter of the ball game on Saddleback. And now the base is loaded here for Schwartz, who singled and doubled in his first 2 at-bats. He's driven in a pair of runs in the ball game today. Came just feet away from a home run out into left center field in the second inning, as he was hit when he faced Zwollen back in the 4th. Takes the first pitch up and away. Schwartz, another guy that was 0-4 yesterday, but picks up a couple of hits here today. Swings through a fastball, and the count is even at 1-1. This one fouled away by Schwartz, and the count 1-2. Schwartz down on strikes. Good pitch that time from Zwollen, getting him to chase up and away. So Schwartz down on strikes for the second time this season and the first time today. And Charlie Rocco had the 2-run home run back in the second, comes to the plate with 2 away here in the 5th, and the base is loaded. Second strikeout for Zwollen today. Rocco has 2 for 3. Swings and hits this one in the air on the first pitch towards shallow center field. Nasso has a play on it, will make the catch. The Cougars leave the bases loaded here in the 5th inning. We head to the 6th, then a 10-0 ball game. COC out in front. Couple of changes for COC here in the 6th inning. Tyler Biggs goes 5 strong, doesn't give up any runs. Allows 4 hits and 5 strong. But a pretty solid game for him in his first college start. He'll give way to Luke Lemon, who will take over. And Dane Flashberg going to take over behind the plate after Allenson was hurt on that base hit last inning. So 5 innings, 4 hits, no runs. No walks and 4 Ks for Biggs. His first pitch to Tanaka, grounded softly up the first base line. Lemon will pitch to first base. And Tanaka down, 1 pitch, 1 out. And actually scratch that. That was Nasso leading things off. Sorry, it was in the wrong inning. Happens. So Nasso down 1-3, and Michael Davini, who's grounded into a fielder's choice and lined sharply to Yeeman at short. 0 for 2 today. Nearly gets hit on the first pitch by Lemon, the freshman right-hander out of Saugus High School. Good breaking ball that time from Lemon. Actually, it might be Lamond, so. This one hit in the air by Davini out to deep left center field, and that one is well out. So the first run of the ball game for Saddleback comes on a solo shot from Davini. The Bobcats get themselves on the board here in the 6th on a ball that was ripped. So here's Konarski now. He's 0 for 2 today, grounded into a double play and struck out, takes a strike. There's Lamond with a breaking ball over for a strike. As Konarski lines this one over the top of Ambriz, down into the corner for a base hit. Ryan Camacho will pick it up and fire it back in, but a 1-out double for Konarski. He has his first hit of the ball game. Two sharply hit balls from Davini and Konarski. Davini had 4 home runs last year, so his 5th career home run. For Konarski, another extra base hit to his record, now 9 career doubles in his time. As Lamond now will face Castelli here in the 6th inning in a 10-1 ball game with 1 away. As Castelli takes a called strike. Konarski leads away from second base. Castelli takes a breaking ball down and in. So the count even at 1-1. Here in the 6th, the Cougars with 7 in the first, 3 in the second. Saddleback nothing through the first 5. Picks up a run here in the 6th. Off the solo home run from Davini. As Castelli takes that one down. This one chopped back towards the mound. Fielded and nearly thrown away by Lamond, but able to get it to Ruvalcaba for the second out of the inning. Little shaky, but you'll take it. 2 down. Here's Isaiah Morales, 0 for 2 today. Flew out and popped out. Trying to get a 2-out rally going here for Saddleback. They've got to run across here in the 6th. You're running out of time. Need to just try and chip away. As Lamond's breaking ball misses away. That one misses down, so Lamond behind in the count. 2 balls and no strikes. Cougars with a group out in the bullpen getting loose, but nobody actually throwing. Everybody kind of just standing around, so we'll see. Might be a one-and-done situation for Lamond here. She have a 9-run lead. And this early in the year, some of it's about getting guys work as Lamond way behind. 3 balls and no strikes. Morales takes a called strike, and it's 3-1. Morales now 1 for 5 on the year. It's like Malachi Corral out in the bullpen getting loose now for the 2nd time today. Lamond set at the belt, will come to the plate. The right-hander delivers, and he walks Morales. So that'll bring Heft, who's been on twice today. Singled and hit by a pitch with 2 outs and a runner on 1st and 2nd. First walk issued by Lamond. So he works through a little trouble here with 2 down and 2 on. Good first pitch this time to Heft, over for a strike. Heft a sharp single out to left center field and a hit by a pitch back in the 5th. Now 3 for 5 on the year. As the right-handed hitter waits. Lamond shows that breaking ball again, but misses up in the zone. Cougars would not be surprised to see Malachi Corral here today. He was a guy last year that could go a number of innings and was kind of crafty. Doesn't necessarily throw the ball hard, doesn't overpower anybody, but was used very well in these situations. This one a chopper towards Yeeman. Backhand flip to second. Not in, it's just in time. I thought it was not in time. The umpire took a while, but they're going to be able to get Morales at second base, and that will end the inning. So 6-4 the final out. We head to the home half of the 6th. Cougars with a 10-1 lead. Pitching change here in the 6th inning for Saddleback. Jackson Clark taking over. So Zwolin goes a couple of innings. Gives up 2 hits in 2 innings. Didn't allow any runs. His first pitch swinging is Ryan Camacho and fouls it away. So we look for Konarski, or excuse me, for Zwolin. Hit a couple of batters. Struck out 2, gave up 2 hits in 2 innings of work. Camacho 1 for 3 today. Singled back in the first, drove in a run. Grounded out, struck out. At the plate for the 4th time here in the 6th inning for COC. Takes a strike and is behind in the count 1-2. This ball lifted in the air towards shallow left field. Konarski running in to make the catch. 1 away here in the 6th inning. So 1 down and Jovan Camacho headed to the plate. Jovan 3 for 4 today. A couple of singles, a double, an RBI, and a run scored. Camacho gets hit right in the back on a breaking ball. Third hit batter of the ball game for Saddleback. Cougars with a runner on here with 1 away in the 6th inning. Alex Sepulveda coming back around to the plate. Sepulveda 1 for 4 today. Fouls this one away. Singled home run back in the first, stole a base. And then also struck out in the first. One of 3 guys to hit twice in that first inning. It's for the 5th time through the lineup now for COC. Dane Flashberg waiting on deck. Took over for Allenson in the 5th after Allenson stretched out his hamstring just a touch after a ball down the left field line. As Schwartzberg lines this one foul, and it's a 1-ball, 2-strike count. One-two pitch down in the dirt. Two balls, 2 strikes. 1 out and a runner on first here in the 6th inning. So this one hit well in the air towards left center field and deep from Sepulveda, and that ball is gone over the left center field fence. A 2-run home run for Alex Sepulveda, and the Cougars have added to their lead with 2 more here in the 6th. Second home run of the ball game for COC. Sepulveda gives one a charge out to left center field. Drives home a pair. We'll see Flashberg for the first time today. So Sepulveda, his first home run of the year. I want to say his first home run as a Cougar because I don't think he had any at-bats last year. He did not. So his first career home run for COC. It's Flashberg getting a chance to hit the sophomore. Swings through a pitch, and the count is 1-1. So Flashberg took it over in the top half of the inning behind the dish. It's Andrew Allison, who had 2 hits and 3 at-bats. Steps away. It's a 2-1 count here to Flashberg. So he pops this one up, playable, out into center field. Nasso had a little trouble with the sun, but able to come up with it for the second out here in the 6th inning. So 2 down, and Andy Ambrose coming to the plate. Ambrose singled, doubled, reached on an error, and walked. He's been on base all 4 times today. Scored a run back in the first. He takes that pitch down and starts ahead in the count here against Clark. Jackson Clark, a freshman out of San Clemente High School, 6'4", 220. Lefty has kind of a 3/4 arm angle at times here. He misses up to Ambrose. 2 balls and 1 strike, the count. And Ambrose way ahead here at 3-1. Looks like Chris Cotto and Michael Davini have a conversation over there. That looks like a pleasant one. As that one hit back up the middle for a base hit. So Ambrose has his 3rd hit of the ball game. And the Cougars with a 2-out base runner here. Here comes Aaron Ruvalcaba, who's reached on an error, walked, grounded into a double play, and popped out. 0 for 3 so far today, but scored a run back in the first. Pitch misses in. Ruvalcaba swings through a pitch down on a breaking ball, and it makes it 1 ball and 2 strikes. So 2-run home run from Alex Sepulveda. That ball down in the dirt, blocked by Collins. And we continue on. A 2-ball, 2-strike count. That one called strike 3 to end the inning. Good pitch by Clark. Sets down Ruvalcaba on strikes. First strikeout of the day for Clark. And that will end the 6th. But the Cougars get 2. So we'll head to the 7th in a 12-1 ball game. J.C. Allen, Tanaka, and Collins set to hit here for Saddleback as Allen takes a strike. Malachi Carell taking over for COC. On the bump, Carell last year had quite a decent season for COC despite a high ERA. Really came early in the year but kind of came on late. 16 appearances for COC. Kind of became a good little reliever as he gets the pop-up from Allen, one away. As here comes Tanaka with one down. So he said the ERA 14.63, had a 1-2 record, but did appear in 16 games, had a 6. His longest outing was 6 innings, as we said, came on late in the year and started to get a lot better. Just had a couple of bad outings early on, and that kind of led to the high ERA. But going to be a guy relied upon out of the bullpen this year. Crafty little right-hander, doesn't overpower you, but kind of keeps guys off balance as that one misses down. It's a 1-1 count to Tanaka. Tanaka takes a strike. Two count to Tanaka. So that one misses away. So a 3-2 count here from Tanaka, or Carell to Tanaka. Tanaka down on strikes, dropped third strike, but Flashberg able to tag him out. So Corral gets his first strikeout, 2 away here in the 7th inning. Gonna bring Jack Collins to the plate. Collins grounded into an inning and a double play in the 5th. This one popped up straight back. Might be playable for Flashberg. And he's not going to get there as he kind of overran it. So new life here for Collins. So 1-1 the count here to Collins. Said Collins grounded into a double play in his first at bat to end the inning. Part of that bases loaded jam that Biggs got himself out of. So that pitch misses up, and he's way ahead here against Corral. So Collins walks, a 2-out walk issued by Corral, and a pinch hitter here for Nassau in the 7th inning. As Galen Tagupa is going to hit here. As Tagupa, a freshman out of Aliso Niguel, takes the pitch up. Corral way behind here to Tagupa.
Collins pinch hit in the 5th. Took over in the 5th. That was the ground ball. That was he's here in the 7th. So they got to fix that.
The inning-ending double play was Collins. So it's a 3-1 count as this one fouled away. And it's 3 balls and 2 strikes. So the runner will be in motion. So Collins will go to work. Collins in motion. This one softly lined towards third. Little blooper, and Ambrose will make the catch, and that'll end the 7th inning. So Corral works a clean 7th. We head to the home half. COC still out in front, 12-1. Home half of the 7th, pitching change here for Saddleback. Dylan Blakey taking over. So Clark goes an inning. Gives up a pair of runs on 2 hits. And then also coming into the game is Blake Demos taking over at first, as Blakey's first pitch to Colin Yeaman over for a strike. Yeaman fouls this one away. Galen Taguba stays out in center field as well. So on the 1-2 pitch to Yeaman, fouls it off to the right. Yeaman fouls it away once again. Cougars 7 in the first, 3 in the second, 2 in the 6th. Saddleback 1 run on 5 hits and an error. Cougars 12 runs on 15 hits and an error. Nice offensive performance for the Cougars here at home. Yeaman hits this one up towards the middle. Knocked down by the shortstop Morales, but couldn't come up with it. And so Isaiah Morales is having a tough day. Scored a hit for Yeaman. So Morales has kind of been moved all over the field today and just has not been able to come up with anything cleanly. So we'll lead off single for COC here in the 7th inning. As Here's Jake Short, singled and doubled, drove in a couple of runs. Shorts was again feet away from a home run. Would have been the first home run of the season for COC. Instead, Charlie Roca came up afterwards and took care of that for him. Schwartz fouls this one away. 2 balls and 2 strikes the count. Leadoff runner aboard for the Cougars here in the 7th inning. That one down in the dirt, going to get away from Collins, and running down to second base is Yeaman. So Yeaman takes second on ball in the dirt, a stolen base. So Schwartz with the 3-2 count has a runner in scoring position here in the 7th inning. Schwartz soft liner towards the second baseman. Hafta will make the play, 1 down. Away, Charlie Roca coming to the plate. Had the 2-run home run back in the second inning. 2 for 4 today. Couple of hits, couple of flyouts, couple of runs batted in. Actually, 3 runs batted in the ball game. Goes to work with another runner in scoring position. Had a nice little home debut here today. Blakey comes with the fastball and misses away. Went over for a strike. That one fouled back, so it'll make the count 1-2. Cougars will have a couple of home games next week. So he'll take the rest of, or most of the week off. They won't play tomorrow. They won't play until February 2nd. So this one hit in the air towards center field. So it looks like Roca 2 for 5 with 3 flyouts to center field. 2 away. I'll bring Ryan Camacho back to the plate. Camacho a single and 4 at bats today. As you're saying, consumes River coming into town on February 2nd and February 3rd. I believe a 1 p.m. Friday start and a noon Saturday start. Or Thursday and Friday start. Thursday, Friday start. Sorry. 1 p.m. and noon. So you can join us on the Cougar Sports Network for those if you can't make it. No balls and 2 strikes to count here to Ryan Camacho. This one chopped towards short. Morales gets a big hop, fires it over to first. That'll end the inning. Cougars lead a leadoff double out there. But a 12-1 lead, and we'll head to the 8th here from the Cougar Field. Pitching change here for the Cougars in the 8th. Jake Schwartz going to come out from the DH spot and go out to pitch. The utility left-hander will face Blake Demos and Cole Kornarski and Ben Castelli. Demos hitting here in the 8th. This one fouled away. This one grounded toward short, picked up by Yeeman. He'll fire it to first. So one away here in the 8th. Cole Klonarski coming to the plate. Klonarski doubled, grounded into a double play and struck out. Schwartz, little two-seamer that tails back over the plate for a strike. Skonarski fouls it away. 3-2 count here. Trying to figure out there was a double switch, so we're trying to figure out, because Demos came up to hit for Divini, who was the initial. Skonarski down on strikes for a strikeout for Schwartz. And Jason Wright will come into pinch hit here for Ben Castelli. First pitch swinging for Wright, lifted out into left field. Easy play for Ryan Camacho will make the catch, and that'll end the inning. So 3 up, 3 down. Good clean inning for Schwartz. And we'll head to the 8th for the Cougars in a 12-1 ball game. Pitching change here for Saddleback in the 8th inning. Tommy Delandry coming in to take over. Sophomore out of Palo Verde from Las Vegas, Nevada. He'll face Camacho, Sepulveda, and Allenson. Cougars had it hitting with a straight 9 here now as Schwartz stays in. Was the DH. Came in to pitch. So Delandry here to face Camacho. 3 hits and 4 at bats for Jovan today. Blakey went an inning, gave up a hit. This one chopped foul up the first base line. So Camacho will come back and we'll do it again at 1 and 2. See if Schwartz gets to go out and work another inning. Looks like Xavier Stoker might be up in the bullpen getting loose. That pitch misses up. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Full count here to Camacho. Working the 8th. Cougars only needed really the one big inning back in the first. He's done a good job on the bump today. As Camacho cannot check his swing, down on strikes. First out here the 8th inning. Alex Sepulveda will step in. A couple of hits and 5 at bats, including a 2-run home run back in the 6th inning for Sepulveda. Takes a pitch up and away. This one grounded towards short. Tag applied at first by Demos and a high throw from Morales. So 2 down. So 2 down. Flashberg back to the plate. Flew out in his only at bat today. One foul back. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. Still Andrew trying to work a clean 8th inning. That one gets away from the catcher Collins. Back to the screen, and it evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. It's like Jasper Dalton Recht also up in the bullpen now, getting loose for COC. So we'll see what they decide to do here for the 9th. Wouldn't be surprised to see Schwartz go back out for the 9th if he doesn't come around to hit here. As Flashberg down on strikes, a couple of strikeouts in the 8th inning for Delandry. Cougars go quietly in the 8th. We head to the 9th, 12-2 in favor of COC. Morales, Hefton, Allen, the scheduled hitters here in the 9th for Saddleback. Cougars sending out Xavier Stoker to take over, as he will try and finish this one off. Stoker last year pitched 31 games for the Cougars. His longest outing was 3 innings. Had the most appearances in the state of California last year. 3 saves for the Cougars in those 31 appearances. 38.1 innings pitched. An ERA of 7.98. So he'll face Morales, who's 0 for 2 with a walk today. Cougars up 12-1. His first pitch to Morales, lifted in the air. Down the left field line and foul ground. Ambrose giving chase. Will get under it and make the play. 1 pitch, 1 out. So 1 down and Heft coming to the plate. Heft singled, hit by a pitch, grounded into a fielder's choice. Has reached all 3 times he's come to the plate today. 1 of 6 hits for Saddleback today. So 1-1 count here to Heft. Swung on and missed. Good pitch by Stoker that time. Elevated the fastball up in the zone, and Heft swung right through it. Stoker trying to finish this one out for COC in his first appearance of the season. Gets Heft on strikes. Another good fastball that time from Stoker. First strikeout of the season for him. 2 down here in the 9th inning. Saddleback down to their final out. And what has been a solid game for COC from start to finish so far. One final out away from finishing it off. As J.C. Allen, who's singled, popped out, and flew out. She flew out twice to center field. Trying to keep this one going just a little bit longer. This one lifted in the air towards right, playable for Sepulveda, who calls out for it, and that'll put the ball game away. The Cougars 7 runs in the first inning, more than enough to power them to a 12-1 victory here in their home opener over Saddleback. They snap a 3-game losing streak to the Bobcats and get to 1-1 on the year, as a solid performance from Tyler Biggs today goes 5 strong and picks up the win for COC. Gave up no runs, 4 hits, and struck out 4 in the ball game. As the Cougars get the win. Biggs his first career win for College of the Canyons. The loss goes to Kenny Chung, who didn't even make it through an inning, as the Cougars powered themselves to a 7-run first inning. As we said, for the Cougars, 12 runs on 15 hits and an error. Saddleback 1 run on 6 hits and an error in the ball game. As the Cougars pick up the win and they take their first game of the season. We'll see you next week. We've got 3 games next week, or 3 days of games next week. Basketball on Wednesday. The basketball season is starting to wind down. And then Consuments River on Thursday and Friday here from Cougar Field. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time here on the Cougar Sports Network.